Hey everybody, this is Jamie Shaw, and this is Thriving Thursday. My business partner went away running a little bit late, but I'm sure she'll be here any minute. And tonight we were going to talk about we've both been in student mode, listening, reading, thinking, and wondering, about the quick sales pitch or the quick sale and the pitch fest. Everybody seems to come into online business and they go after the hard sell fast and furious, and they don't understand that it's all about building relationships and stuff like that. People tend to worry about the money problem and stuff like that. Wonder what had a whole big topic on this tonight, and she didn't reveal her notes with me, but I'm gonna wing it till she gets here. But we all strive to go to the authority status right off the bat. Trying to gain authority in our niche, in our find our custom avatar and everything. And yeah, Rosie hit her computer, so she's on the way. So kids gotta love them. Hide mom's computer so she can't get on the webinar. That's funny. But we all tend to go after the quick hit when we're coming out. We're so desperate to make money, and you see a lot of people out there, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Well, I've been divulging here lately and learning from a big industry leader, and I don't hear them talk about your deal, buy my stuff. They're always inviting and pointing to stuff that will help marketers, and that's the biggest thing. My camera's messed up, but that's the biggest thing is when you have a conversation with somebody, it's not here, buy my stuff, here, buy my stuff. You need to solve what their problem is. So I've been studying their tactics and stuff like that, and their tactics are really super simple. I mean, they're so stupid simple, anybody can do them. But I'm not going to reveal them because that's that's the leader I've been following and learning. And today I got a testimonial from Dave Renicky, and it actually almost made me cry because he was giving me big kudos and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool that he gave me that testimonial. Rosie hid your computer on you, huh?
Yes. Kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said. I swear. She's out to get me. She really is.
So I kind of winged it a little bit till you got her. So I don't know how well I did it. So, but I was just kind of talking about how seems like some of the gurus are about their so-called gurus are claiming, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, or flashing money and stuff like that, and some people are talking about, you got to buy this or you got to buy that, or you're not serious about your business. And it's always about the quick sale, and especially with newbies. They come on and they don't know any better, and it's put their link out all over the place, and
well, there's two sides to the newbie coin too, because one, there's not enough education there. I don't want to say they don't know better, but there's just not enough education that they've gained, especially when it comes to attraction marketing. It does have to be studied, and marketing in general has to be studied at some point, whether it's a self-education or a formal one. But the other side to the newbie coin is newbies don't know better, so they don't know that you're waving out the buy me flag, and they are buying because they think, oh my God, if I'm not serious, then why am I doing this? Let me buy. And it becomes a almost malicious way to take advantage of people. And that's not something you want to attract into your life either, because that's not good for your business, and it's just not good for your attractor factor. It's not good for, karma, whatever you want to call it. It's just not a good way to do business.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Just came in,
Yeah.
bringing more stuff. She's hidden in the corners of the house somewhere. It was under her bed, by the way.
That's funny when they're little, you know. I mean, my kids, I mean, they kind of grew up with computers and stuff, but not like your kids, because your kids are still little. And I mean, hiding a computer, when I got a webinar going on, I flipped out.
Yeah. Thankfully, I know where to look, and I'm like, where's my computer? Looking everywhere. I'm like, it was right here. It was right here. And I have been offline more, so it's not been glued to me, and my phone hasn't been glued to me. So I didn't think about it. And then, 15 till I'm running around tearing up the house looking for it. And I'm like, who has my computer? And she looks really guilty. And I'm like, you got in trouble earlier. Did you hide my computer? Because that's when she does it. And she does it to my dad too. When he gets mad at her, she'll go mess with stuff in his office. So yeah. It's our punishment for disciplining her.
Yeah. Well, I was telling everybody, that I've been digging into Big Mentor. I mean, you know who it is because I told you I downloaded all of their files from the system that we use, and I've been listening to my 3-hour trek to work. I've been listening to their mentorship files. I know you've been following a Big Mentor too, and really getting an eye opening on how to do this marketing thing because. In the beginning, we all make mistakes. That's part of the journey of learning and everything. And, I mean, I look back at some of the mistakes I've made listening to this mentor. I'm like, wow, it can't be that easy. And I've been beating my head against the computer all these years. It's that easy?
Yeah, and I mean, that's just it, is you're going to make mistakes. I make countless mistakes, and as you evolve, you learn better and you do better. But you can't do better until you learn better. So you have to be in that open state of mind to accept a mistake and accept that you don't know it all. And I think that's been part of the big reason where here recently I've decided to kind of step back a little bit and stop really hunting an authority status. And I made mention of this in the copy for tonight, but we rush to this authority status because we're told you have to be an authority for people to listen to you. And so we think, okay, well, I've got to put out the biggest, baddest content I could come up with, and I've got to be there 24/7, and I've just got to crush it and be present and do all this, and it becomes overwhelming. And I don't really like using that word, but it can swallow you, and you put a lot of undue pressure and you get stuck. You don't realize it, but you're stuck in a loop because you're constantly trying to go uphill, but you're going at this rate where you're just kicking the rocks and dirt out from under you, and we're all trying to be king of the mountain when in reality, and this is something I've learned not just from your mentor, but the one that I've taken up recently too, is I noticed that they always call out who they learned stuff from or what they've read in a book. And I've always been attracted to that, a leader who's not afraid to, hey, I learned this from so-and-so, and actually give credit where credit's due. I think that's a very attractive quality. But what I realize now is they deflected. They played point. So instead of saying, this is my thought all the time, they said, this is who I learned from, and this is the result that I got when I implemented it. Instead of struggling for authority with others, they took a back step and they allowed somebody else to have the spotlight. And because that they took the time to learn, and they've learned so much over, the course of their life and their career, then they became an authority. We're all in a rush to do it by midnight. And that's just ridiculous. It's silly to think about now that we're all in this mad dash to become king of the mountain with all the authority by midnight. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works. We all think that. And I know I've made that mistake too, where it's like, okay, I'm going to do 30 days of a push, a really solid one where I go at it full speed, and content, lives, post, and I'm going to be really active in my group and all of this. And we create this tunnel vision, and we're so blind to accepting something else. But what ends up happening is I'm going to, you get in this mode of, I'm going to create this authority status. I'm going to get it. And as soon as you say, I'm going to get it, you just acknowledge that you don't have it. And what does that say? Lack, scarcity. That's the vibration you just put out. So even though you're in a way thinking positive of, yes, this is coming, you're still acknowledging that you don't have it. And so it begs the question, okay, well, how do I get it if I'm not supposed to say I don't have it? That was one thing that I kind of made a realization, and I'm going to get deep on this mindset stuff. Jamie, your brain's probably going to hurt in a minute.
I don't know. I've been prepping all week because, actually the last 2 weeks, because we didn't have a webinar because I had a scheduling conflict and you had something going on too. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been in this mentor's mind, and, and she gave me one audio, and, and that one audio has been in my brain for like 2 weeks, and I can't get it out. I mean, I hear their voice in my head all the damn time, and I can't get it out. And it's because I've been going, following that mentor, going through their trainings and stuff like that. And they say when you follow big leaders, you hang around with big people, you start to act like them, you start to market like them, you start to talk like them, So I really hope that thought is true, because I think you do to some extent. I mean, you won't totally. You add your special sauce and stuff into it. Did I say special sauce?
It's a special sauce.
But you add your touches into it, and I've done this, in the past, teach something that I've learned and that I've learned from a mentor, and I taught it in my style, because I teach a lot different than other people do. I try to dumb it down so anybody can understand it. But like I said, this audio has been stuck in my brain, and I woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning, and she has a little tune in this audio, and it's stuck in my brain, and this little tune was going off in my brain at 4 o'clock this morning. I just woke up. So
mission accomplished. She's taken over your mind. Okay, so if you're not supposed to send out a vibration of lack, yes, you can acknowledge it, but the point is to change the vibration. So how do you do that? How do you state to, the universe, God, whoever your higher being is, or higher power, how do you state that you are wanting something? How do you ask for something? Because the thing in law of attraction is ask, believe, receive. And, in the Bible, it says, keep on searching and you will find. So how do we do this? Well, we're constantly evolving and learning. But the thing that I've come to learn and realize is we say, I am open to receiving X. And if that I am statement is very powerful. And a lot of times we play with it and, I am abundant and I am successful and I am prosperous. And those are great affirmations, but they skim the surface. So when you're ready for something deeper, play with this thought of, I am open to receiving X amount of dollars. I don't know, financial prosperity. I am open to receiving 10 new clients today. This week. I am open to receiving knowledge on how to run my business. And it could be anything. I'm open to receiving a new relationship. I'm open to receiving happiness and joy and prosperity, abundance. The list goes on and on. But a lot of times when we get in this mode of, I am going to get this and I'm going to do that. And I'm a big goal setter. Everybody knows this about me. You've seen my vision board. It's crazy. In fact, I did a year comparison and it looks ridiculous. I have a picture from over a year ago where there's like a couple little sections of sticky notes, and now it's like completely taken over There's barely any space on it, and that's because it's very well organized. But I'm a big goal setter. I love that. But there's still the door that we have to open to receive it. And that was something I wasn't doing. That was something that I made a mistake on. And of course, as soon as I learned that I make a mistake, I'm like, yes, okay, now I can fix this. Now I can do something about it. Now I can open the door and receive something. And I can receive something big, small, positive, whatever you open that door to. It's prosperity is an energy source. And if you open the door to receive it, it will flood in like crazy. It will. Whether you believe in God or not, you deserve the things in the universe. And if you do believe in God, this is an easier way to put it, is if you were created, why were you created to struggle? You're not. You were created to enjoy a prosperous life, an abundant life, one to your liking. And if you don't believe in God, that's okay. Nobody's here to judge you for it. It's still an energy. There's still a universal energy source, obviously, or the universe would not exist. So open the door to it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because God defines a path for you when you're born, and it's you who make the decisions to veer off path. And you're where you are at today because of the decisions you made. And I listened to an audio on the way home like that, and the first part of it really struck me, and it was Les Brown actually who started the first part of it, and he said it struck me because of the age he defines. Because I'm 49 years old, he said, you're at 49 years old and you find yourself 18 years into this company, and they call you in the office and tell you you're done. They don't need you no more. And there you find yourself starting all over at 49 years old. And that's like reality for me because that's my age, and it kind of just struck me, wow, that's true. We define our path. We pick the way we want to go, and we're stuck in we're stuck in the spot where we're at because of the decisions we made. You're not getting the recognition and the success that you want because you think it's too hard to do it. So you stay on the path that's comfortable to you and go in and work your 9 to 5, or like mine, 7:30 to 5 o'clock, and you stay on that path because I'm comfortable with it. But sometime in that time frame, you got to decide when enough is enough. And are you going to make a change? Because if you don't change, 5 years from now, you're going to be doing the same thing you're doing today. If you decide to wake up and change, Jim Rohn was in this audio too. And Jim Rohn was saying, only you can make the decision to change. If you look at your life 5 years ago, are you in the same place you were 5 years ago? And, and it makes me look back. Yeah, I'm in the same place I was 5 years ago. So I need to make some changes. I'm not in the exact same place I was 5 years ago, but not far from it.
Yeah, I resonate with that too, because even though I am not the same person I was 5 years ago, and there's definitely a lot of growing that I had to do, and I'm very grateful for it. At the same time, I'm not far from that. I'm like a stone's throw. That stone had a lot of work to do. So again, grateful for it, but it's time to get a move on. It's time to shed some moss and get rolling.
Christina says hi. She's on the YouTube channel.
What's up? Yep. Katie, Pops, Tim, and Barb.
Yep, they're all in the chat. You guys got any questions, be sure to throw them out at us so we can answer them.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to the Pitch Fest, I do want to continue to address this just because a lot of time we feel like, again, the newbie and maybe some people who should know better do this, sending out their link and just, pitch. And the thing is, sending out the link when it hasn't been asked for is a big one If you send me a link in my inbox, I just delete you, and we're not friends anymore. Because one, you could be sending me a virus and I don't know it. I mean, you have to think about these things. It's professionalism 101. And just consideration, be a good human. Like, if you have not contacted somebody and you just send them a random link, it doesn't look good. And that person's probably thinking, why did you just send me this? You just invaded my inbox to send me junk. Cool. I didn't even ask for this junk. So, it's kind of like that. But going a step further, where, we do this king of a mountain rush for authority thing.
What happened?
Oh, did I freeze?
You froze for a minute.
Okay. So, going back to, the Pitch Fest, the other part, and it's like in the shadow where we don't really think about this, but when you learn and you say, okay, I'm supposed to give value to my audience, give them solutions, I can do that. And so you give all this value, but what do you expect? Expectations might just be chopping your legs out from under you, in the sense of laws of attraction. Sometimes we get caught up thinking, I'm going to put out all this content, I'm going to get this authority status, when you're already acknowledging the lack and the scarcity. When you say, I'm going to get it, you don't have it. But then we come back and say, and I'm going to get X in return. I'm going to get, financial gain, authority, audience, whatever. You signal this state of lack, and then you don't manifest the proper intentions. And I wrote in the copy tonight, intention is the pathway to receiving prosperity and abundance. Expectations are the lack and scarcity mentality, pushing away abundance. And I deliberately wrote this. Intention, again, is a pathway. So if you have the intent of putting out content to gain, that is different than saying, you're late with my success, my money, and my authority status. So, and I think that's a lot of the reason why we get so spent and burnt out, is because we're expecting something to arrive that's not arriving. But that's probably us with our lack mentality. We've acknowledged, okay, I don't have this, and I'm still not getting this, and I'm still not doing this or that. And we continue the cycle, and it's not helping. Intention is the pathway, and prosperity is just energy. You have to be open to receiving it. So think of intention as your front porch, your sidewalk that leads up to your house, and you got to open that door so that prosperity can come in. Prosperity comes in many forms, whether it's financial, freedom, happy, abundance, wealth, health, whatever it is that you're trying to attract. You have to be able to acknowledge that there is something out there, whatever higher power you believe in, something out there that is trying to help you. And for you to say, no, I got this, is pushing it away. I'm going to do this is yes, that's strength in a way that you want to do it yourself, but it takes more strength to let somebody help you. It takes a lot of humility.
Yeah, that's why we say it's a good idea to get a mentor. So somebody's in a community. That way there's somebody there that can help you. Doing this by yourself and trying to do it all by yourself is no fun, because you're just going to hit a wall, and you're just going to spin your wheels and spin your wheels and spin your wheels, because that's what it's all about. I mean, and I lost my train of thought. Senior moment.
Well, at least that's assurance that you're not the same person you were a minute ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
always learning, always growing. Let people help you. Get a mentor. Let them guide you. You
Yeah,
know, it,
and it don't have to be. I mean, yeah, you need a one-on-one mentor, and there's some areas that wonder what mentors me, like in mindset. I mean, I've been doing a really good mindset. I've come a long way in it in the probably 3 years I've been doing it, but she knows so much more than I do, and that's what I'm attracted to her mindset mentality because yeah, sometimes it makes my brain hurt, but a lot of times after I sit and think about it after we've got done talking or whatever, it makes sense. And a lot of people it don't make sense to, but it does to me for some reason.
you speak Whitney.
Yeah. And it's just like, when I start talking computer talk to you, you just like, Jamie, shut up. I can't handle it no more.
What? Was that English? Can't
Yeah.
tell anymore.
But, I think we're so desperate to get the sale when we first start. That is, and like you said, it's not that we don't, that we may know better, but that's what we think it is to do when we first come in. Pitch everybody your deal. I had one the other day. He sent me a friend request. I poured through his profile, and he looked like a legitimate marketer. Okay, there's a marketer. He just wants to connect with me. As soon as I hit accept friend request, boom, I get a message right off the bat, and it's a copy and paste message about joining his deal because it's the best deal since sliced bread. And I'm like, block.
See, and okay, here's a strategy tip. Wait to invade somebody's inbox, okay? Wait, and don't send a copy and paste message. Make friends. That's what this is about. If you wouldn't take this deal to your friends, don't take it to a stranger. It's called social media. If you're a social media marketer and you are not making any friends and you wouldn't want to have dinner with the person you were about to message, just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop right there and say, hey, how's it going? Try it out. I promise the conversation will go epically better than sending them a link. In fact, you might actually have a conversation if you said, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I've got a couple of these in my mini chat that have come in through one of my pages, and they act like they're interested in what I do, marketing and everything. Then they hit me up and say, send me an iTunes card. What the fuck is the deal with the iTunes card?
What?
I need it to buy music. Well, there's 100 places on the internet you can go download music for free. Why do I need to send you an iTunes card? And I had one the other day, and I just kept playing. It was a female, and I just kept playing with her. She was begging me to send her an iTunes card, $50 iTunes card. I'm just stringing her along, I said, okay, I'll buy you an iTunes card if you join my deal. Just playing with her, and she's like, well, what's your deal? I said, I'm an internet marketer. She was okay. She goes, what's it cost? I said, it's $10 for 10 days, and then it's $150 a month. You send me $200 iTunes card, I'll join it for $150. I'm like, I blocked her.
It is just ridiculous, the level. And see, that's just it. After people, I could dissect this 15 ways. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit though, because when you said when you first joined, you're desperate for a sale. And that's true. You are. I know I was, especially when my first MLM, and I was just gung ho. I was gonna make this work, and yeah, gonna rock this. Yeah, that didn't work out because I spammed everyone. I'm a recovered spammer, so we all make mistakes, and I'm not here to tear anybody apart for it. But I am here to advocate a better way, because all you're going to do is ruin the relationships that you have, and you're not going to start anything new. And this is a relationship business. Whether you like it or not, if you have to reach out to people to sell, then it's a relationship business. End of story. But another area where we get desperate for a sale is when we haven't had one for a while.
Mm-hmm.
When it's been a minute and you're like, I really need to make this work. So I'm going to do everything faster and harder, and I'm going to put out way more content, and I'm going to do this. And even though your thought is well off, I don't want to say intention, because that's really thoughtless intention when you approach it that way, but the initial starts from a good place. You start with, I'm going to deliver more value more often, and that's how I will get something X, Y, and Z. Take a step back, take a breather, regroup, and think about this. What is your intention? What is your pathway? And is your door open? Are you having an expectation or an intention? Those are two different things. Expectations are, my box is out for delivery and it's late. UPS guy was supposed to be here an hour ago. That's an expectation. My 15 clients and my $5,000 a month, that's not here. It was supposed to be here by now and it's not here. That's an expectation. One I totally had that one. I've had that one before, a lot. But it's not an intention. An intention says, this is my pathway that prosperity is going to find me. My pathway is marketing, and I'm providing value, and prosperity will enter through this pathway. End of story. Financial prosperity will enter through this marketing pathway. Whether it's internet marketing, belly to belly, doesn't matter. Does not matter. This is your pathway. Set your intention. My pathway is blogging. I'm going to blog my little heart out all the time. And I'm just going to keep blogging and keep learning and keep blogging, and prosperity is going to come. End of story. Not, it's late. I don't have it yet. You can't sit there tapping your foot. It's not on your time. It's on its time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of things in our life happen in their time, not in your time. And that we always put everything in a box and expect it to happen in our time. And then when it didn't happen in our time, we're disappointed. Well, we set ourselves up for disappointment because we put it in a box. And you can't do that. I mean, I think that as a human being, I think that's a bad habit all of us have, is putting something in a box and expecting it when we want it. And like you said 100 times, if you believe in a God or a higher power, a lot of times we put it in God's hands, but we put conditions on it. And when you put conditions on it, you're not letting God do it in His time. You're expecting it in your time, and it didn't work like that. Marketing has phases. You have to learn how to talk to people. You have to learn how to put your content out there without being spammy. You have to learn how to grow into a better person and a leader. Then you have to learn how to. I heard this the other day. There's 5 phases. I can't remember all 5 phases, but the second phase, you grow into giving people more and more value. And then the third point, you start giving things that will help solving people's problems and stuff like that. And then the final phase is you grow into self-awareness. You realize what you can do and what you can't do. And I mean, all of us have limitations. There's some things I'm good at that Wonder Whit's not good at. And there's a lot of things that she's good at that I'm not good at. So we all have our limitations, and that's why you need mentors and friends and associates to help you fine-tune help you in the areas.
I prefer to think of them as challenges.
Challenges.
They're not my natural strengths, that's for sure. Like, blogging is not my natural strength, or really anything tech related is not a natural strength. It's about as easy as like ballet for me, and I'm not graceful. I'm very clumsy. I mean, that's how techie stuff compares for me. It's like being graceful and elegant, and I'm like haphazard and clumsy. It's a challenge. It's not to say that I can't. It's just not likely.
Oh, I know, and I run up against challenges too. You know, in the last week, you know, in the last month, I've had so many computers I've fixed, and I've got one here that I had working perfectly. The guy had it for a week, and he brought it back and said, I took the hard drive out of the memory, took the hard drive and memory out of another computer and stuck in it. Now it won't boot. Well, okay, I've got it back to where it's running, but it's still not right. The wireless driver for Wi-Fi won't load up, you know, because I had to redo the hard drive. He had it so messed up, and I'm to the point where I'm technically challenged because I don't know what the hell to do to it. I've installed all the drivers stuff and still no Wi-Fi. So, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. The other one, he brought me 2 laptops. One of them I've got running perfect, but this one I fixed. I had it running perfect, and he had to swap parts. You know, you don't take parts from a Toshiba and put in a Lenovo because it messes stuff up. Hard drives you can, but when it comes to memory and stuff like that, you don't do it. And that's what he did. And I don't know if I can fix it. It's to that point. You know, and the other laptop, it wouldn't even turn on, and I've got it fixed and running, actually running really good. Why it wouldn't turn on is because he had the memory out of that one in that one, and it's the wrong memory for that laptop. So as soon as I popped in the memory that was supposed to be in it, it worked just fine. I had to reinstall the operating system on it, but you know, so we all face challenges, and it's not that I'm ready to give up on it. I'm at the challenge point where I don't know what to do with it anymore.
No, see, and I picked challenge because, you know, I don't like the word limitation. I'm about that life without limits, and that's just my mindset. And it was funny because I was just talking to my mom, and she has a coworker, and her coworker she was trying to get through to a call, and this is something simple that maybe somebody hasn't thought about yet, but she was trying to get through to a call center, and they kept transferring her, but every time they transferred her, the call would drop, and it was like 3 times that she's called back, and my mom finally told her, look, before they transfer you, let them know that it's dropping. And she was like, oh, okay. And it's little stuff that's constant with this one coworker for my mom. So she was a little frustrated, and I can understand the frustration. But like I told my mom, it's because she's not looking for a solution. She's just accepting defeat. And sometimes we accept defeat by looking for problems. And other times we just don't look for solutions. We just say, I don't know. And the brain stops working, and, you know, neuros stop firing and all that. But that's just, it's prevalent. We just accept defeat, and instead of saying, no, there's a way around this, or no, there's something that I just don't know yet, and I'll get there. I mean, I don't know, you're a wizard with computers, so that just maybe beyond reviving.
I don't know. I mean, I've been all over Lenovo's website, and the computer is actually obsolete and out of service, so they don't support, and they don't have drivers for it online anymore. So I actually just found a website and downloaded a driver for it and installed, and everything's perfect. It said success, but it still don't work. So I'm at a point where I'm gonna have to do some more research, or I'm gonna take a hammer to one or the other. So.
I fixed it.
Yeah.
So,
but, you know, that's just part of computers. You know, either you get them, you know, when somebody messes with them like that, and especially an obsolete computer that's out of service, they don't support anymore. It is so hard to get drivers to it when you have to redo the operating system. But I could not get the thing to boot, and the only way to solve it was to reinstall the operating system. But luckily, it created a Windows old folder, so I'm going to have to go through and scour all that and see if maybe I can get lucky and the drivers are in there. But, you know, like I said, you know, just because of not trying to be the authority, not trying to be the know-it-all and do everything, just doing what I know how to do and what I'm good at, fixing computers, you know, I've had a steady stream of computers coming over the last month. I've got 1, 2, 3, and one on the dining room table. I got 4 computers sitting here right now that I have to fix this week. Well, 3, because the one underneath this laptop here, there's no fixing it unless he wants to spend some money because the motherboard went out of it. So, I made some pretty good money over the last month just by doing my computer business. I don't know what's up with my camera. It keeps zooming.
Yeah, I guess because you keep moving, it keeps like switching focus.
Usually it's pretty good about that, but I turn it on follow me, then every time I move it'll follow me.
Yeah, but it's like you said though, sometimes okay. The initial pathway where we want things to go, the initial intention may not be our doorway to prosperity. It may be a doorway to a lesson. I know for me, my first MLM was definitely not the doorway to prosperity. Jamie, you're freaking me out with your camera.
I turned it off.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so like I was saying, threw me off. Yeah, my first MLM was not a doorway to prosperity, and that was I had expectations. I had expectations for it to be, and a lot of things that I have tried haven't been a doorway to prosperity financially anyway. They've been a doorway to prosperity in many other ways. Go. These kids, I swear, in and out, in and out. Hold on.
Yeah.
They're just everywhere. Like spiders in a haunted house.
That's coming up pretty soon. You can have them spiders in a haunted house.
I'm going to leave them in a haunted house to keep this up.
Yeah. And that's funny, because we learn so much from the kids, watching my grandson. I pulled in tonight. As soon as I opened the truck door, it's Papa, look what I got, and he's getting so talkative and stuff. It's funny, because he's starting to carry on conversations and just watching him learn and grow. We moved him. We weren't real happy with the babysitter we had him with, so Mommy couldn't afford the daycare that we got him stuck in, so me and Grandma paid the extra to get him in the daycare. I mean, it's pretty expensive, but he's getting good care. Plus, he's in a learning environment because they're teaching him. He has classrooms and stuff like that. And he has kids his age because the previous babysitter we had him with, he had an older kid that was picking on him. He's your daughter's age. He'll be 4 in December. So that's not real cool to have a bigger kid picking on you. So I think putting him in this daycare was the best thing. He loves it out there. He gets, they feed him breakfast, they give him a snack, and then he knows when Grandma's going to come pick him up because he's watching the door when she comes in about 3:30, and I asked him how school was. He said, cool, and he told me what he learned and everything, and I think it's been great for him to be in a learning environment. I think it's helped him so much.
Yeah, I know. My daughter started preschool. She's in pre-K now, and oh my gosh, all this summer I thought I was going to shave my head with her because she's been just slightly destructive, coloring on walls and doing stuff she knew. I mean, that's just it. That's what gets me. She's quick, she's clever, and she knows when she's not supposed to do something, hides it, and it just kills me. I'm like, why? And this is one of the things that kills me about all my kids is that they do these things that they know they're not supposed to do, and then I just want to know why, because in my book I'm like, that's not a smart decision. That's what I know. That wasn't a very smart decision. What would have been the better decision? Try to do it that way. But since she started preschool, her mind's been entertained and she's less destructive. She doesn't color on walls anymore. Thank Jesus, because I was about to buy stock in magic erasers. Man, yeah, I had to hide all the Sharpies in the house. There have been several times where she's drawn on her whole body in some sort of tribal art of her people with Sharpie, so I can't get it off. It's bad. It was real bad. But since starting preschool, pre-K, she hasn't done any of that, and she's been very talkative, and her manners are much better. And I mean, I'm a stickler for manners anyway, but it's just she's actually listening now. She's gotten into this routine and not so much free range. I'm pretty bad about that. I baby her a little compared to the other two. I definitely baby her. But
I know, and what's cool about the kids, like Jace, you want to know how to use a tablet? Give him the tablet, he'll show you how to use it. And that's what's cool about the kids. They know more about technology than I do as an IT guy.
When I had a tablet, my son would find all kinds of shortcuts that I had no idea existed. And I was like, what? Wait, what did you push? Yeah. I'm like, hold on, what? And he was like 4. I'm like, what? Like, come on.
I remember
there. I didn't even know I had that program.
I remember when I think it was black, or the first one I had was a BlackBerry. I think it was Blackberries when they come out. I couldn't figure out how to use it, and then my son showed me how to use it. Then smartphones started coming out, and I finally got a smartphone.
You saying that you didn't know how to use something techie is just kind of funny.
Back then, once Blackberries come out, I wasn't really into tech as much as I am today. I was just starting to learn it, and then when smartphones come out, and I had the hardest time with the smartphone, and everybody. I was into IT then, and everybody's like, "Hey, I need my email on this phone." I'm like, "I don't know how to do it. I build computers. I don't know how to do phones."
Baby computers.
Yeah, and that's basically what you carry around with you all day is a mini computer, because this thing will do just as much as these tablets or laptops or.
Yeah, so I just want to say to my high school teacher, my middle school teacher, aha, I do have a calculator in my pocket.
Yeah.
Among other things. You're never going to have a calculator in your pocket when you're an adult. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. One topic we didn't really cover is the wondering. We covered listening, reading, thinking, and wondering.
Wondering. This is my specialty. Wondering. Here's the thing about wondering is you have to do it. I mean, how often do you really sit in a thought? How often do you really just think about something? And I mean, like my nephew today. I picked up one of my favorite books from the library, and I will show it to you in just a second.
I think you froze up there.
Can you see me? Oh, you're frozen. Okay.
There you are.
The Odyssey. I love this book. I read it in high school, and I love the story. It's very difficult to read, though. Obviously, this is not like there's a lot of Greek names in here. It's not common language anymore, so it can be difficult to read. I remember I told my nephew, if you actually just sit and read this slowly and think about it, what's going on and the imagery that they're using, and really imagining and visualizing what things look like back then in this setting, in this time, in this place, it's an amazing story. And that's something that we don't really do with our thoughts anymore, because we are the microwave society. We are, instant gratification. Let me just look it up on Google. But did you really learn it? Did you really learn it, or did you just look it up? Did you really think about it in the context? Did you really think about it in a different context? And this is something that we've lost as a society, is wondering. The greatest minds have accomplished the greatest work because of wondering. Well, I wonder if I could do it. I wonder if it's possible. Stephen Hawking, wants to find one equation to explain the entire universe. And what has he created since that? Amazing work. I mean, countless breakthroughs from this one mind. And we regard him with such high esteem. But again, because we're not looking for solutions, we're not wondering, we're not thinking, we don't do these things. And that's where this starts. Thoughts become things. And the more that you marinate in your own thoughts, in your own philosophy, in your own way of thinking, the more you can expand your conscious mind. The more you can become self-aware. And that's exactly where mindset starts. That's the birth of something new that you can do. Anybody can do it. Wonder about these things. Wonder about what gets you going, what you're interested in. It doesn't have to be mindset. It doesn't have to be internet marketing. It could be flowers and gardening for all I care. But you have to wonder about these things. Because if you're not wondering and thinking and growing, you're dying slowly and painfully, because a little bit of your freedom goes every time you don't think. A little bit of your soul just keeps dying the less that you're learning and the less that you play with things and imagine things and visualize and allow yourself to think, what if?
Yeah, I agree. And I got a little story about the wondering too. And I know most of you know my story that are on here, and knew what I went through. I went through Alcoholics Anonymous at 21, quit drinking. And, step 2 is make amends with people that you have offended. I mean, I don't think it's actually worded just like that, but, the gist of it is you have to make amends with people that you've wronged. And all the people, that I felt that I'd wronged growing up, I made amends with, except for one person. And this one person I could not find and could not make amends with it. And I think, I've wondered for years and years if I would ever run across this person and be able to make amends with them, and apologize to them for what happened in the past. And, like I said, I've wondered for years. And something funny happened this week. Out of the blue, Monday morning, I got a friend request from this person. And it allowed me to make my amends to them. I gave them an apology. And their response to me was, "We were young. Don't worry about it. No hard feelings." And carried on like we had been speaking to each other for the last 30 years. And we haven't spoke for the last 30 years. So it was a big weight lifted off my chest, and I thought it was really cool. And I don't know, because I was out wondering about it all the time, if I would ever be able to make amends if I put it out in the universe enough that it finally decided to come back to me so I could get rid of that obstacle that was holding me back. And, I feel really good about it. And I thought it was really cool. And it just struck me out of the blue. And, when I messaged them, it's like, you're the last person in the world I expected a friend request from. I'll have to tell you the story about it sometime when we live.
That is so cool, though.
Yes.
I mean, oh man, the vibrational energy I could dissect left and right. I mean, this is how manifestation works, though. And yes, it's going to take more time when it's an occasional intention put out, but it happens, and it can happen. It's totally possible. And these things is what really trips me out about manifestation and, laws of attraction and quantum physics, if you will. I mean, this is just cool. This is nerd alert. I think my nerd is showing, but these are the cool things about it. It really can happen. It's a science. It's a science. It's not just some hippy dippy, BS. It's real. It's real. It can be so real for you too. Like, it doesn't discriminate, based on you know, where you come from, man, woman, you know, young, old. It doesn't discriminate on those. The only way that this science can discriminate is the person that you are. The person that you are being. Are you the person who's manifesting this energy, who's working and developing and growing and working on being better? You know, if you are, for lack of a better word, a jerk. Okay. If you're, for lack of a better word, a jerk, I mean, there's more colorful words. I'm sure you guys can fill in the blank. But you're obviously not going to pull in and receive great things. You know, you might get some good things. I'm not going to lie. You know, if you're putting out that intention, but it could be so much better.
Yeah. Well, the key to it was that it happened in God's time when He thought I was ready to receive it, not when I expected it to happen.
Yeah. That's awesome. Some nice timing.
And I, you know,
this is like one hell of a week.
Go through enough mindset training, you learn what obstacles are holding you back. I know you've learned too what obstacles hold you back, and I've done enough of it that I know what holds me back. And that was one big thing I know was holding me back because it's lingered in my mind for 30 years. So you know, my best advice is to you: don't put your obstacles in a box. Give them to the universe, give them to God, however you want to do it, you know, whatever you believe is your higher power, and let the universe deliver it in its time when you're ready to receive it.
Absolutely. You know, my faith has been subjectional the last few years. I grew up really religious, really conservative, and you know, having a fallout with that particular religion and just my life experiences that happened, it was very difficult for me to place a belief in a higher power. And part of that was my wounds being bitter that certain things took place. But as I made peace with those things and as I learned to be grateful for what I once thought was punishment and just cruelty on God's part was later, you know, accepted as a lesson, and then later accepted as refinement, and again later as you evolved, accepted as some of the biggest blessings that could have ever happened to me. And if you want to say happened to me, they happened for me. And it takes a lot of development to get to that point. It definitely wasn't easy. I mean, this is, I don't know, 8 years later, I'm still, you know, still processing and still growing from it. And that's just it. You have to be growing. And I mean, going back to my point of, you know, there's always a presence, whether you want to admit it or not. Don't let your bitterness, your pride, and your faults keep you from receiving some of the best things out there, whether you want to believe in God or deity of some sort, or if you just can accept that there is a good out there that is working for you, and that one will get in your door and give you everything that you really do want, because you deserve it. You weren't born to struggle. You weren't born to be miserable. You weren't born to do all these things. We make mistakes. We're not perfect. And, you know, this isn't a perfect world, so we incur, you know, a little deviation here and there. But as a whole, when you're ready, and when you're ready to accept, things will work out the way that you could not even imagine, as, you know, the best way possible.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, things have happened in the last couple months that just I can't explain, and you know, it's not my will; it's the universe's will that's been laying it out for me. You know, my computer repair business has started taking off. You know, being able to make amends with somebody from my past. You know, all things like that. You know, I've had some people come into my life that, you know, I guess should be in my life, because they say everybody that comes into your life comes into your life for a reason, and they're meant to be there. You know, I was destined to meet Wonder Whit. I was destined to meet Katie and Dave and Pat Patterson. It was in my alignment, in my path. And if I'd have veered and taken the left road instead of the right road, I wouldn't have run into them in my path. And we all have a defined path, but you have to make the decision which part of the path you're going to take. You're going to take the hard path, or you're going to take the easy path. And the easy path is easier, but the work is harder. You know, and the hard path is the work is easy, but the life consequences are a lot harder. If that makes sense.
One of I've been listening to Wayne Dyer lately, and one of the things that he was saying was, we come from a point of abundance. That's where we are created into existence. And whether you want to take that as, higher power creation or scientific creation, it doesn't matter. The point is, from your moment of beginning of existence, you come from abundance and love and prosperity. That's where you come from. Now, when you go through life and you get off your track and you're going through hard times and frustration, that is a sign that you are not in alignment with your original purpose, your original manifestation, your source that you need to realize. So when things aren't working, you're not getting the results you want, whether it's life, business, doesn't matter, take a step back. Yes, there's strategy involved. If your strategy is on point, I promise it's your mind. That's the only other reason. There's something in there. And if you say, I'm doing all my personal development, my mindset, and I'm evolving, and I'm growing, and I'm learning, take a step back. Take another step back, because it's there. As much of a mindset junkie as I am, I still have all of these moments of frustration and, feeling like I'm not accomplishing what I should be. And it's because I haven't stepped far enough back to see where I went wrong. And so, these last couple of weeks, I've been pretty quiet on my social media. And this week is when I officially just said, look, I'm taking a break. And my biggest breakthroughs are happening because I've just taken time to feed my soul and get realigned with my purpose.
Yeah, I mean, understand, because I've been on this. I've been doing some stuff, but I've been kind of on this break for about 2, maybe 3 months, and it's not that I'm taking a break from marketing my business, because I still do stuff. I still build my blog. I still run my show every week. There's a lot of things I'm still doing, but there's stuff that I know I need to be doing that I'm not doing because I'm looking for myself. And I found a lot of myself in the last few months. And I think I needed to define my purpose more. Like Katie said, maybe I took the left instead of the right. And my response was, yeah, I started down the left and I found a shortcut over to the right. So now I'm on the right path. And I think the soul searching and finding myself and finding my purpose, because I didn't know what my purpose was for the longest time. And I think I defined it. It's to teach, and build up my computer repair business and to teach people about it. Dave made a comment the other night on Monday night about that I should record a video on how to set up virus software or something on the computer. And I'm like, I haven't done that yet. And that's something I need to do, do some technical videos and show people how to repair a hard drive or put memory in. Of course, there's tons of videos out there, but not in my style. So, so that's something I can do. Oh, we're at the top of the hour. Wonder Whit, do you have any last thoughts, comments?
I always have thoughts. I have tons of thoughts, but I think what I would like to leave you with is just to keep wondering and definitely, meditate on the I am, but take it to the next level of, I am open to receiving. Take that statement and do some deep meditation, do some visualization, really sit with it and think about the life that you want? What does it look like? What is, I'm big on visualization, but what does it really look like? What does it really feel like? If you can stimulate the feeling that you are after by way of the life you want, you're ahead of the curve by so much, and you can manifest that, completely manifest that into your life. And that's what I'm working on. So that's the thought, though, that I want to leave, is just leave the expectations behind you, drop them like the lead weight that they are, focus on your path and really what you're open to receiving.
Exactly. We all have to soul search. We all have to find out our path, our purpose, our vision. And once you find it, you don't just stop there. That ain't your vision for life, because as you evolve and grow into a better person, a big leader, whatever, your purpose is going to evolve with you as your beliefs and your success evolves. So I want to leave you with that thought. Keep continuing to grow, learn, and evolve every day, because as a human being, that's what our purpose is to evolve every day. So, and we'll come hang out Monday night with 24-hour marketing crew, Dave, Reniki K Stage, Pop Stage, and myself. Wednesday night is Pat Patterson's Wisdom Wednesday. Then come back here next Thursday night and hang out with me and Wonder Whit. We'll have some mind-bending stuff going on for you as always, and we'll see y'all next week.